Welcome back. We are here playing Heaven is Here If You Want It by Ray Najati, a Belonging Outside Belonging game. This is part two of our two shot. We're just going to go ahead and, reintroduce ourselves as our player and the characters, and then we're going to just do a quick review of how the moves work for this particular style of game, and then we're going to go into the moments that remain for this particular game. All right, so I'll start. I am playing the dancer. I am named, I'm Mads, they, them pronouns, and I'm playing the dancer, Seleneye, she, they pronouns for now. And my name contains lasting calm that I can never have. My look is a tattoo of lyrics from a song I don't recognize. Something broken I wear to remind me how badly I want to be whole. An incomplete bracelet, basically, and meticulous clothing choices for a false sense of control. My gender is a dramatic heat, beat, and flourish, something joyful that hides a frenzied truth, and also a many-layered cake. My art that I've mastered is free-form poetry created in the moment. I struggle with pointed questions and bold action that demand a reaction, and I no longer connect to art that is young and unformed. My song is the desire to find meaning, and my dance is the dream that demands my all. And my lure, for anyone else to gain a token on me, which I'll explain a little bit later, is if somebody dances with me, fleeting or no, to give part of themselves to me, they gain a token. So let's go over to Danny. Please
Yeah.
reintroduce your devil.
Hello, I'm Danny. Any pronouns are fine for me, and I'm going to be playing the devil. The devil is named N, which is a name that holds the last of heaven. Their look is an overly large sweater that hides their bruises. Oh, excuse me. N's pronouns mirror yours, but for the sake of self-description, I'm going to be using they. My look includes an overly large sweater that hides my bruises, a pair of wings scrawled on my back, not a tattoo, sort of an elaborately rigged like Sharpie drawing, and something that betrays how I struggle to pay my bills, which are the lingering effects of a day job. Um, N's gender is a song fragment, and after the last game we played, they've also picked up the gender of a cigarette after a meal. The art that N has mastered is an art that rages rebellion and reveals the prisons that hold us. They struggle with art that belittles love and hope, and they no longer connect to an evolving performance that feeds on heartbreak. For their persona, they have the pretty things they keep on their arms, and the truth of them is the emptiest version of themselves. And for their lore, when somebody asks me to hurt them, tangible or no, to make themselves feel better, they gain a token.
And Gwen, please introduce us to your oracle.
Hello, I'm Gwen. Pronouns are she, her, and I'm playing Circe the Oracle. My name is a name that whispers of a life unlived. My hands are weathered by housework. My half moon glasses I wear that I peer over with disdain. And I have something whimsical that contains a future I let go of. Tattoos indicating an interest in the occult as well as artistic representations therein. My gender is a forbidden prayer whispered before a kiss, warm blood through my fingers, and a map marked and torn. Art that I've mastered is art that cannot be seen, but only felt. I struggle with songs of heartbreak and regret, and I no longer connect to plays that seek to rebuild the human condition. My torture will forever be that those I love will never love me in return. My fate is something blissful but cursed. And my lore, when someone stares into the future with me, fleeting or no, and asks me to speak their prophecy, they gain a token. And should I read my description? I am a god domesticated and condemned to flashes of brutal prophecy, apathetic and lonely, searching for both meaning and source to the art that expresses a future both false and true. My art is threatening and dark. It is echoing and built on loss. My heart bears every scar left by those who could not face their fear of me. I play the oracle to create art through magic and terror, to feel the resentment from being tamed and made small.
And last but not least, Jelly, please introduce us to Arcturus.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jellyfishlines, or Jelly, or Jellyfish. My pronouns are he, him. And I'm playing Arcturus, whose pronouns are he, they. Um, his name is a name stolen from the last king. His look is a tattoo of a sword and crown in an unexpected place, lipstick stains on teeth too sharp, and a cloak of many pockets filled with letters I'll never send and scraps of poetry I'll never complete. My gender is a blade held in the hand, a kiss on the back of the neck, something that demands to be looked upon but left undescribed, cracked gold and rotted silver, and with the last game, I gained the gender of something hungry. An art I've mastered is poetry recited in front of an adoring crowd, one that I struggle with is a dance that incites the unthinkable, and what I'm no longer connected to is art that is traditional and aches to grow. My crown is something glorious and full of pain, and my sword is a vice I know better than anyone else.
What's your lure?
My lure is when someone offers something of value, tangible or no, to become part of my crown, they gain a token.
Okay. And those are our characters, and we shall enact them in this magical, mundane way, or mundanely magical way, depending on how we feel in the flow of things. So, this game is about exploring art and gender and being human. Um, and those are the particular moves that we have available to us. This game works off of a token currency. So, we gain tokens, one token by enacting human moves or by uh, enacting someone's lore, or the moments themselves, the scenes that we will be playing through, have lures themselves that we can also gain tokens through. We also have playbook moves that we can do at any time if we're at a loss of something to do in the moment. So just kind of like follow the flow. They don't earn any tokens, but again, they're something to be able to just, again, get into the moment and, enjoy being our particular characters. And then to spend the tokens to create art, to create the spectacle, to really make big swings, we would spend 2 tokens to make art moves. And these are very, very weighted and, again, big spectacle type of moves that you can do to spend that currency. So that's pretty much what we got. And the game is played through moments, scenes that have their own particular moves to them, and we will be doing the remaining moments left in the game. The one that we shall begin with is Kisses in the Dark. In the dark, our bodies melt away, and there is no need to speak. Not for long, not forever. It is this time in the dark that who we are uses heat and desire to shed off skin and inhibition. It is here that our art boils over and becomes passion. Begin kissing in the dark if you want to further entwine your body with your art, if you search for vulnerability and tempt heartbreak. And the lure for this moment is when someone intertwines their fingers with another, fleeting or no, they gain a token. So, we would describe where the kisses take place. Jelly, would you like to pick where the kisses take place?
I have an idea, and I'm always a sucker, not only for Dance Fever, but also for the Bastille album, um, the most recent Bastille album of Quarter Past Midnight. Every single song on that album is a bop, and there is a song where it is essentially this description, and it is in an empty room upstairs while a party rages below.
Nice. All right. So that since there's four of us, we can each pick what can we not say. There's a pick list. So each of us take a row and then pick from the pick list. So what can we not say? We each choose one. I'll take the second one down. What can we not say? Whoever's got the last one. All right, cool. So, what can we not say? I'm sorry. What do I mean to you? We shouldn't be doing this. And do you remember? So, we'll see. There are human moves in here to gain tokens. There are kiss moves. And there are also art moves to spend tokens. So, all right. And as always, and we didn't do this last time, but again, there's like very little time to think about this. We can always step out of our own character and create a visitor. So, if that is something that you want to do, you can totally do that. I may, as facilitator, step out of Seleneye and enact visitors occasionally, depending on where we are. So, all right, so we are in an empty room upstairs while a party rages below. Where is this empty room? Are we in a big house? Are we in a industrial complex, like a club? Where are we exactly?
I like to follow off of the last one from Circe's home into mine, but also not in the present, but the past.
Ooh, okay. We can totally go wherever you want, like in time jumping or whatever.
Like the early days or like at like the dawn of like our own like hurtling into fame,
Ooh,
notoriety.
okay. Fair. All right. So where is your home?
It's in a place of town that you would not expect. You would expect my home to be uptown where all the best are. And it's not. It's quaint. It's probably like an apartment that's half falling apart. You could definitely see you definitely have seen at least one cockroach here and at least two rats. One of them is the name Templeton for sure.
Love that.
And it's a party. I like to think it was opening night for all of us for like a joint effort type of art
Mhm.
to a resounding success.
So are these okay? So these are a combination of all of our guests, basically. Okay.
May I add to that?
Absolutely, please.
Yes.
Paint
Can
some
we say
scenes.
that your apartment is attached to an art studio or an art gallery?
Love
So you
that.
live above an art gallery, the big party's happening at the gallery opening night, maybe. And so we're
Hmm.
upstairs in an empty room in the dark or whatever, later in the evening that we've made our appearance, we've done the thing, and now we're upstairs, if you will, basking in the glow, or doing a post-mortem while people continue to, the like art part of the event downstairs is pretty much over. It's a party. And so we can kind of
Yeah.
step out. And so we're in your place above the gallery that like, my installation, and there was a dance piece that was a performance piece was performed maybe that Seleneye did, and so on and so forth. So we're
Mhm.
upstairs at your place. And this is younger us, which will
Yes.
be interesting because this will be
Yeah.
just before I made the decision to step away from the art world and this community to go be a suburban housewife soccer mom person.
Did you
Mhm.
like are you already engaged yet or
Yeah,
are
let's say that I've got somebody, and tonight might be the night where I reveal to my art friends. So this was great, but I'm gonna be stepping back because I'm pregnant or whatever.
Oh, this is great. Oh God. Okay. All right. All right. All right.
We're
So,
cooking up drama.
okay, love this. Love this shit. Okay, hold
Because
on.
I still want to hold on to the core of the Oracle, which is this loss,
Yes.
right?
Mm.
Oh
The
God, yeah.
Oracle is a character of grief
Mm-hmm.
and loss. And
Mm-hmm.
so if I jumped to before that had happened, the character would be totally changed. So I don't want to do that. I want to still have my same moves and everything. So
Oh no.
Mhm.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how I'll
yeah.
do it.
But I mean, like, also too. I
Mm.
mean, like, you could still have that because but it would be different because of the change in state, right? But we don't know that yet.
Hmm.
you know, we just think you're regular melancholy, not a different melancholy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
you're the
yeah.
melancholy where you haven't had any drugs or alcohol this evening. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm unusually broody, right? I'm wearing, yeah. So are we going, or do we have more
yeah,
questions we need to answer?
no, no, no. I mean, like this is pretty much where we're going. I think that Selenai is kind of like exhausted. Like she's like done her dance piece, and it was a really intense one. And so whomever is resting on like a lounge settee or whatever, like she's kind of pretty much like draped herself on them. So whomever that is, that's cool. I mean, like, if you don't mind, it's like, she's gonna be draped on them and like her head on their shoulder or on their chest or whatever, and then just kind of like kind of waving at a tray of drink or whatever the hell we have like as like substances or whatever, and saying, Circe, take a load off. Come on. This is supposed to be our night.
Cersei. You okay, Cersei? What's wrong?
You're
Well,
practically sober.
That's not good.
practically, I know. Well, so the art piece I did was um, exceptionally visceral. So the pieces are very, let's say, it's an installation piece. It's like a three-dimensional sculpture art air space that you enter and move around in, and it had a lot of, I don't know, I'm imagining it being like a lot of found objects that are positioned in ways to be a rumination on life and death, right? So there's,
Hmm.
there's at times it feels like you're walking around like an oddities fair or something
Mm-hmm.
because there's
Yeah.
skulls, and so it's got like this occult vibe going. But but there was a lot of seeds, and there were like fetuses in jars, animals, right? Making sure I don't want to cross any lines. Let me go jump over there and look at those real quick again. Um,
I have a typhonized rat. It's fine for me.
Mm.
okay. So, anyway, and but so there was some weird themes in there that were kind of out of joint with my normal vibe, but they all represented new life, which is normally not my thing, right? I'm normally the doom and gloom of our cursed fate, using representations of, say, like divinatory tools to predict, climate apocalypse, or the death of democracy or whatever. But this one seemed more organic and strange in that way. And so Cersei hears you all, and she's been kind of standing in the corner, She's wearing black on black on black with combat boots and fishnets and a knee-length lace-hemmed puffy skirt with a black leather bodice, corset top, and sleeves, lace sleeves from wrist to up arm, and that sort of look with her, I, Winona Ryder and Beetlejuice sort of vibe. And she says, "No, I'll be staying sober tonight. Well, now's as good a time as any. So tonight was great. Um, everybody, your dance, Seleneye, was beautiful. It was inspiring. I was moved. Um, but I don't know, you know, my art, it feels like it's just a stand-in for something else now. I'm really struggling with it. And, I've been talking to Ash is Circe's partner, about it, and they agree that I think we figured out what the reason is, because I'm kind of shifting my focus to something else, a new form of creation, away from the allegorical and representational to the visceral, to the embodied, to the real flesh and blood act of creating life. So I
In
think
love, it blooms.
Holy shit.
I might be
What?
stepping back from the drug scene and the art a bit to have a baby.
In love, it blooms like a little green catastrophe, darling.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like I want to build something real, something that lasts. I want to have a home that feels like a home, not a
There.
crash pad. I'm sorry.
Well, you
All
have to.
right.
It's fine. You have to love what you do. As she lies through her teeth about love. Sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, I struggle with my art. Hey, I get a token.
Yippee.
Um, yes, I did break the rules though, and I said a word I'm not supposed to say.
Eh.
It's okay. Um,
I'm the one who chose it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's
Yeah.
it's so totally fine.
Okay. Yeah. I
I
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's okay.
No, please. I talk plenty. Go ahead.
I'm going to set aside my crown and reach out to someone, probably all of you, and just ask a question. Not, how do I ask this question? How does my crown crack upon hearing that?
Oh, let
Mm.
me see. Hold
And
on.
that this is posing to all of you.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Then I gain a token.
Does your crown crack upon hearing that? It's like well, I mean, depends on.
Well, our circle is breaking.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you're like no, you're feeling no longer glorious. I mean, like your pain is now overflowing. Is that how you feel? Actually, I think Seleneye will actually will say that. I mean, like she's looking at your face and she's saying, Arcturus. I mean, your face looks like you've just cracked open a bowl of pain. Are you are you gonna be okay?
And he just like looking at Circe and then looks at you, Selenai, with like the flash. It was like a flash of just an eye just looking at you. And he just looks and just, I'll be okay. So we'll all be okay. I mean, we're friends, right? We love one another. We stick together through everything. We don't leave each other behind. And I'm going to take a fucking token for lying about love.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Yeah.
But well, if you're staying sober, there's other ways to celebrate.
Yeah, true. I mean,
I
I think this is where
Mhm.
Seleneye is gonna get like jump up and start to like, hold your hands and like kind of get close if you allow them to, because this is where kind of gets like a little bit of a little lascivious look in their eye as he changes gender. So Seleneye will look at you with that look and say, "Well, if that's the case, you can't get any more pregnant, can you?"
Yeah,
uh
N has been fairly quiet through all of this as Selenai hops off of their lap and proposes this. A wide smile kind of grows across N's face. They a younger N, imagine, more angular. Their face has been painted red to kind of fit into this like large display that they had made, like a basically a puppet assisted like humanoid looking body that they kind of moved around in all night. So they've got like a red face paint and like bits of like cardboard just sort of still strapped to their bodies. And I think I would like to, yeah, I think I might try and hurt someone with my truth here and say, yes, after all, we are about to marry you off to what what's his name? He's like an accountant or something. So this is like your bachelorette party, really. We should let you live up before you go off to live a normal life free from all us starving artists.
Live it up before you live it down.
oh, I'll never live it down. I get the impression from with all of you around to remind me. Don't worry. And then her eyes glow. And you've seen this before. This is when she's prophesizing. She kind of raises her hands and her eyes glow, and then her voice comes out and it sounds like it has an echo, like she's speaking from far away. And she says, I predict that we will continue to make art together, and that I will continue to prophesy, and you will continue to dance, and all of us will continue to create, and we will come together to celebrate those creations. And then her eyes stop glowing. And so there's no need to have a funerary feel here. So that was her prophesizing, but then she's gonna forget because she's not going to do those things. And she is in fact no longer going to predict anything concerning her own life. By giving up this artistic lifestyle, she is losing a part of her magic to her fate. She can predict, she can prophesize other people, but she can no longer prophesize herself. She's sacrificing herself in this act of domestication.
I think
Mm.
Selenai is like, still clasping your hands, but then like, will really, if you'll allow it, like I think he takes a really deep look at you and will actually like bring one hand to your face and look at you searchingly and not say what he's gonna say, but instead he he asks, well, this is a question. Where do you kiss me for the longest time?
This is it going to happen now, or is this in the past? Are we reporting? Something that Circe and Seleneye are going to do right now?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
which,
like in this particular moment, as you know, as
okay.
he's
I think,
as I spend 2 tokens. Let's see. Three.
where should I kiss you for the longest time? I turn my head and I take your hand and I begin to I kiss you, your palm and wrist, and I hold your hand against my face, cradling. You can feel that there's a tear, and then I kiss your palm again, and I hold it there, tears coming down my face. And so I kiss what is offered, uh,
Yeah.
and that is beautiful.
I think in a way it's kind of like, there's like movement there because he almost
mm,
like sways to what you're doing, and then he loses
mm,
a part of himself to this dance.
I think that after a time, she lets go of Selene's hand, and
You know we will worry about you no matter what, right?
then she kind of does like an exaggerated formal curtsy, and she's like, "But of course, I would expect nothing less. Again, I'm not dying. I'm just going to take a break. I would, I love I love being an artist, and this is the life I want. I just also want this other life." So she's lying about love.
Mm.
Mm.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, like yeah. I mean, he's just gonna kind of like, move away and like let the others move in on you and do what they're gonna do, just because it's like, there's no move that covers this, at least that I can see at the moment. But I mean, like for him, like a little bit of mourning, because
Mhm.
it is like a little death. Sorry.
It is. No, I mean that's the character, that's the oracle. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I'm interpreting this playbook is,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is a funeral.
Uh,
She doesn't know it yet.
right.
She thinks
Uh.
she can have both.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, you know what?
Uh,
Okay, so I'm gonna spend 2 tokens, and then like as he moves away, he's going to use dance to express what cannot be expressed. So if anybody starts to watch him as he uses the empty space, in the floor, I mean, like, it is sorrow, it is grief, it is sadness personified, and it's in every line, and it's in every move of his body as he takes the floor and just dances by himself.
I watch you for a moment, both of you, and I just gently go to my room, bring out as many pillows, as many blankets as I can, pop them on the floor, and start laying out what is essentially a bed, a makeshift bed on the ground. Come on, let's sit down.
Who are you saying that to?
Everybody in the room.
Hmm.
Come on,
I
it's okay.
think N is going to sort of get between Circe and the pillows and like looking at her but addressing the group and say she has an entire life for soft surfaces and comfort. If we're giving her one last ride among the the art the starving artists, then I think we should make the most of that experience. And we'll kind of lean in just so Circe can hear to say, you're not meant for a soft life." cushions do not round off pointed edges. And
Hmm.
we'll see. Yeah,
That's
and
good.
I will touch where is welcome.
So, and reaches out, I assume, right, to
Yeah,
Circe, and
yeah.
you raise your hand to reach, and she steps forward, and so your hand kind of goes here onto her, like her, her collarbone, her sternum, and you can feel her warmth and her heartbeat. And she gets close to you, and she says, "You're right. Um, have you ever seen childbirth? There's nothing
Sorry, there's
soft about
sirens going
that."
by right now.
Oh, I didn't hear the sirens, but I did, however, say, "Have you ever seen childbirth? There's nothing soft about it. I will be creating new art out of blood and flesh and bone."
Make it
Snaps and sinew.
yeah. They're going to rip another living being out of you. That is the most metal thing I can imagine.
It's so metal that there's a whole series of movies premised on the prospect of how horrible it is to have something growing inside of you that bursts out.
God, I love Alien.
Yeah, right. So, but so then Cersei says, "Okay," and she steps around you and kicks the pillows out of the way, and then reclines on the cement floor or whatever of this like loft. I'm imagining this like artist loft, and she kicks off her shoes and undoes the bodice, so she's just got like a lacy bra thing going on. Because have you ever tried sitting and laying in a corset? No. So yeah, and she says she starts to say what she can't say, which is she says, "So you all know that she's polyamorous. This is not like she's some sort of faithful monogamous relationship with her partner Ash, but she says, when the baby comes, I probably won't get the opportunity to. We should make the most of this," is all she'll say.
It's like I said, can't get any more pregnant, and that's what Seleneye says from his dance. So
There's just you hear Arcturus come back with like just little footsteps, and he's wearing like these black leather gloves, and it's just, well, there's a couple ways this can go. There's the Who's in Charge route, or there's the silver platter route.
What was the first route? I didn't hear you.
The Who's in Charge route.
Who's
who's
in
in?
charge route? Okay. So I think for the
And
moment, Circe will perform or express her gender by suddenly becoming incredibly femme and submissive, which of course is just one version of her gender. But she's like, "Oh, would you be in charge? I need a big, strong artist to be in charge of me tonight."
of course, darling, of course I can. And you can see that these are not just any regular leather gloves. These are vampire gloves. They have pins in them.
Okay.
They have like little pin tips, which is just like, sorry, Mads. I above table. I'm a freak. And he just walks over to you and gently like just runs his hands down your back to the point where you can just feel just a slight bit of pain and yet the scrape of like these little like pin tips.
Sure. It's like a scratchy surface, right? Yeah. It's like thick fingernails, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. She, how is everybody out of character?
How's everyone?
How does everybody feel about blood?
That's fine. I mean,
Okay. Just
Sure.
checking.
you know,
Okay.
so as long
So
as it
let's,
doesn't get like gory, we're good.
no, I
Mhm.
just meant like, would it, because I was going to create art from a place of passion using my own blood.
That's fine.
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for
So, the glove travels down and there's just and curve around and there's just a little bit of blood, but enough that she gathers it and starts drawing on her own body.
Hmm.
Representations of the child, of a third eye, things of hands on her arms representing all of you.
Mm.
And she starts to cry when she's drawing the hands on her arms because she just doesn't have enough blood. And this is describing how my art reveals who and what I yearn for. Spending two
Mm.
code tokens for the art move.
Mm.
N's just going to throw an arm in front of you, wordlessly. It's like, you need blood. There's blood in here. Which is me inviting another to hurt me.
And I'm just going to gently like press in, like a little bit rougher than what you would ever expect from me.
Who's in charge indeed?
Mhm.
it.
And I pull my hand away, and there is N's blood just starting to pool on their arm.
And I'll lower it down in front of Circe. They take what you need. But I believe to make a proper ritual, we all have to bleed.
Yes.
Of course. Seleneye, would you care to do some honors?
Yes. And I think this is where, if you still have the gloves on, of course, then Seleneye will come to you and like whip off their jacket, and you just see like a sleeveless vest, like halter vest underneath, and that's it. And then they will like just present their arm, but draw it very sensually across your gloves. So this way it creates like a pattern that bleeds. And then
Mhm.
as they're doing that, they create like a song that is just again like forming some kind of words to find some meaning into what we are doing in this ritual. And so I'm just trying to think if there was something, a move with this or
Can
whatever. Yeah.
I have too many tokens and I need to start spending?
Spending.
Um,
Art move. Definitely do some art moves or something. Or ask questions.
I'm going to create art from a place of desire and also um, touch where is welcome. I'm going to just like whisper very gently, put one of my other hands up to yours with a finger under your chin,
Mm.
and just, darling, words fail here. They always do. Now, it gently cups your face where you can just feel just like the tips of them, not even digging in. They're the most gentle thing, like like kitten claws on your cheek. Now, Selenai, you know as much as I do that each of us has a talent, each of us has a gift, and that gift is something that is beautiful and daunting and painful. And there's one way to forget it. And I'm going to kiss you if you welcome it.
Absolutely.
Now, I heard an end of a ritual was in order. And would you like to do the honors? And I just take off one of the gloves and hand it to you.
Ah, gladly. No, I think while I think everyone else you've drawn blood from their hands, but I think once N pulls the glove on, I think they put that gloved hand up to caress your cheek, and you
Mm,
can feel the slightest like pricks of the pins into your cheek, and gives you sort of a meaningful look, like, okay.
mhm,
And so they dig them in a little deeper and drag a line down from your cheek down to your jawbone, and then traced to the tip of your chin, creating a nice little river of blood that starts to drip down and mingle with everyone else's.
mhm.
A fitting offering, the blood of a king.
Of course. The blood of a devil and the blood of a dancer as well.
And I think Seleneye looks
Now,
down and then, like, looks down at the floor and goes, "Look, we've made a new pattern."
mm.
That the blood is Circe is now running her fingers through the blood and tears of hers, right? And yeah, she's creating a pattern on herself and on the floor, and then when if others allow it, she's drawing like arcane sigils, whatever,
Yeah, Seleneye's
on each
back
of
is
you.
is a pretty much a like an open canvas for you because of the halter vest. So,
Mm. And after all, I'm going to spend my last two tokens to create art that expresses desire, specifically what I've mastered, art that you can feel but not see. And so I will create a design on each of your bodies that you, in a place you can't see, but that as I'm doing it, you can feel the intensity of my love for each of you, but it's strongly tinged with grief and sadness, because I also know without admitting it that this isn't going to keep happening. I'm not going to keep creating art with you all. I'm going to get consumed by my new role as mother to children, plural, living in the suburbs with my accountant partner, and regretting certain things, but also embracing the new joy and trying to figure out how to balance these two parts of myself. Yet,
Mm.
as the dinner in the previous moment indicated, still struggling with that. And each of you feel it when I touch you. And in each case, when I touch you, I lean in and you can feel my breath on your neck. And I whisper to Arcturus, I say, "Thank you, my king." And to Seleneye, I say, "You have moved in ways that I didn't know I could feel. I There will be an emptiness in my any space I find myself in." And to N, Cersei says, "I hope that I'm able to find someone who can hurt me in the way I need." And then she sits down in the middle of the three of you, and just kind of uh, comes to rest.
I think Seleneye will come over after you do that, and he will encircle your shoulders from behind and move his lips against your temple and speak poetry against your pulse. He's murmuring words. He's saying these things. He's speaking his art. in all the ways of expressing what he yearns for. And maybe you hear it, maybe you don't, but it's about connection, it's about desire, and maybe in a very, very soft whisper that you may catch or you may not. It's about you.
I just look at the scene in front of me. And this is like a very abstract idea of expressing my gender. And it's something that demands to be looked upon and left undescribed. There is no words to describe what we are and what we do in our relationships between us. It's too complex, too interconnected, too much love and too much pain and too much suffering. We are both so perfect and so incredibly bad for one another. And yet, we make one another whole. And with my last two tokens, because I have to leave after this, well, last four, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do two moves, probably a one. One is create a new crown to dazzle and command, and I grace it for each of you. Each of you will have a piece of this. To Circe, it is a piece of a better future. A better future, not just for you, but for the child that you carry. For Seleneye, for my beautiful boy and girl in both and neither and all of it. You get something that it is what you mean to others, but also not at all, is something where is part of your own meaning that you can't quite decipher yet. And to end, you have a crown piece that is a version of you that's not a part of heaven, but yet the best version of you that you can ever be. And that is you now, in a you that you have not met yet. And that's two tokens gone. And the last two is where do you kiss me for the longest time as I join in for the rest of you and sit down.
That was to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Circe turns and looks at you, at Arcturus, and says, "Here, now, but always in my memory." And she leans forward, and again, willing, if accepting, passionate kiss.
Right.
It
It is
goes on for
accepted.
a while. Yeah, maybe, maybe she floats a little bit. Something magical happens.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think Seleneye will treat it like a dance across your face. He will come at it from the side first and like kind of look at you as if seeing you for the first time and saying, I hope this will be all right. And we'll start with your cheeks and then drift to the side of your lips and then, like, test first your upper lip and then your lower lip and then go against both and flutter like wings and press like petals of a flower, and then deeply passionate, as if trying to taste you as you in passion before letting go.
Mm. Thank you. And if you wish to answer, it is okay, and it is okay if you do not.
Yeah, I think in previous moments that we've all had as a group or individually, N has usually kept at a distance there, and always seemed more comfortable giving uh, rather than receiving. But in this moment, it it feels like even though Circe is the one that's leaving, something is changing in the group for all of us. And so I think N will join in as well. And I think with the simple, probably much more easily and elegantly than would be accomplished in real life, they slip the borrowed glove back onto your bare hand. And I'd use the move invite another to hurt me.
I I gently grab your cheek and I'm going to use one of my king moves, which is draw my sword and leave blood in my wake. And darling, do you ever really need to ask? Is it everything you do? And I'm going to kiss you. And gently graze the gloves down the front of you and then press on your chest until you start bleeding.
Yeah, you meet a bit of resistance at first, and then realize that N is leaning into the push of your of the claws, kind of driving them in a little deeper than maybe they're meant to. And as you eventually, as you finish raking down N's skin and pull the glove away, the fingertips are coated in N's blood now and starts to run down the glove and into the lines of your palm clad in the rubber of the gloves. So you can see your own handprint outlined in N's blood.
He just puts his hand to his face.
Thank you.
It's an honor.
When the kissing ends, we each choose one. So if you want to round out your kisses in the dark with one of those things, Arcturus, add one of the following to your look, change your gender to one of the following, choose or describe an art form, or gain the lure. So add one of the following to your look, a collection of visible bite marks, the feel of your hands on my body, a bright red tattoo that draws every eye, a color you said would look good on me, or proof of an unspoken love. Or change your gender to one of the following, crying into cereal at midnight, an unexpected bite, a secret that changes shape, beloved and true, or something lost. Or choose or describe an art form that you can only create after you kiss someone and mean it. Or gain the lure. When someone kisses me, fleeting or no, they gain a token. So we each choose one of those things.
I take the feel of your hands on my body for a look.
Nice. I will choose gaining a lure. Someone kisses me, they gain a token.
Okay, so I've picked a secret that changes shape. And I imagine like in the morning afterwards, when N is back in their own apartment, they kind of look at their back in the mirror and to see what Circe drew in blood. And there's a sort of the rough fingerprint drawing of a pair of angel wings, and is sort of struck in that moment. They're a puppeteer by trade, so they have all manner of like woods and tools and things to kind of rig stuff together. And kind of rigs up this sort of mirror and Sharpie contraction with a series of pulleys that so whenever the blood set of wings is fades, and we'll kind of go back over it in like awkward Sharpie using this contraption, sort of preserving that last gift of Circe's, but and can never quite get the shape that it was on that night. So they're endlessly recreating a rough approximation of it with the tools that they have available.
Mm.
Amazing.
Arcturus, even though he wakes up and eventually you all leave, there's still the feeling of hands on his heart and all over him. It doesn't leave, it never will. And when he touches someone else and he is not thinking, it feels like hands crawling up an arm.
And to contrast, Circe that later that night or early the next morning goes back to her studio apartment where her partner sleeps, and she takes a shower and she cries as the hands that she drew on herself representing her connection to all of you are washed away.
That's the end of Kisses in the Dark. So I know that Jelly has to leave us for the rest of the game, but thank you for coming to play with us, Jelly, for as long as you could. If you want to put in some stars in the Discord chat, for us, whatever time, that's fine. All right, so take care and have a good rest of the game for where you're going.
I thank you all. This has been really fun. And I haven't played Belonging Outside Belonging since like Wanderhome a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And God, Ray Najati, genius.
Yes.
Make more games like this, please, Ray. I need to suffer and cry. But yes, it was a joy playing with all of you.
Absolute joy. Right back at you.
Yeah, likewise.
You as well.
Okay. See ya. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll engage in one of the other moments for as long as we will, and for however much time that we have left. Okay, so let's take 10, 15 minutes. What would you guys like?
10's fine with me, but if people
Yeah.
need more.
I'm fine with 10.
Okay, great. See you in 10 minutes. All right. All right. We're going to go ahead and do the a child's game for that moment. There is a child in me that I killed long ago, but their small and warm hands never let go of my heart. It is during this game that who we are comes undone, and the children we once were yawn, and come awake. I can speak, and I can read. It is here that our art finds joy. Begin the game if you want to look at your art through the eyes of the child you once were. So, the lure is when someone plays like they mean to win, fleeting or no, they gain a token. So, N, please describe where the game takes place.
Okay. So something that always strikes me as a city dweller who has family out in the country is how just quiet and dark it is when you are just out there in the country alone. And I think this will be like maybe narratively it can be the suburbs or like we're all kind of taking a trip with Circe, child, and but wherever we are, it is dark. The stars are shining above us, and the only sounds are like ambient sort of insect noises and the sway of wind through the branches of trees.
Love that. Yep. For sure. All right, and so each one of us can pick a row for describe the game. Circe, you want to go ahead and pick the fourth, or you
Okay.
think we're good with three?
I mean, I think that's good, don't you?
It's up to you.
I mean,
Right now we have a game of describing the game, a game of chance with cards and lies, a game we haven't played since one of us died, and a game of confessions and secrets. And now, a party game with our own house rules. Makes sense. So, yeah. Do we imagine that this, as you say, and this is like out in the suburbs somewhere where it's like there's barely any light, like this place does sleep, like parts of it does sleep, and there's no real like big street lights. There's more like these little like street lamps, like very quaint, right? I mean, like they barely give off any light, and what light they do give, it's like just like kind of like a weird like ambient glow rather than a full-on spotlight, like over by its pole, and where there isn't any, then we have to go by starlight because otherwise we can't see anything, for sure. Do we think this is like... No, hold on. Let's see. Game of chance of cards and lies, confessions and secrets. Do we think that we got caught out somewhere? That we were having a picnic and we misjudged how far we were from...
how about, I know that the previous scene was in the past. It was the like Cersei stepping away, and then but the first scene was kind of like a reunion where we all got together at Cersei's home. Do we want to have it be like one of you all like rented a cabin?
Ooh, yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
And I brought along the child, and
Yeah.
we're teaching the child, this is a game we used to play when we were,
Hmm.
young together, like back before, right?
Yep.
Um,
Maybe Ash like had to go away for business, so you had no choice but to bring the child with us. So
I know, that's right. Well, they couldn't take, I have to think of a name. Oh my God. It's hard enough to name real children. Fictional children is even harder. I don't know. What should the child be named? Any proposals? Cersei the Oracle has what as a
the
child?
child's name is Tell,
Tell, yes, love it.
Tell.
and it could be any gender.
Let's go with they them for Tell.
Okay, that's fine. They probably insist on it.
Yeah, they are just barely almost adolescent. They're like tween, let's say.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like
they're
that.
like 11 or 12, right?
Yeah. So yeah,
So
they're very decisive about that. It's like,
And
Mhm.
they think they know everything, and they are wanting to hang out with the adults and be like an adult, but they're still a kid. And
yeah.
yeah.
But I think like Seleneye, who's still like he him is pretty much like you taught them well, huh? Opinionated little son of a gun. Like they know to kind of watch their language a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't give a shit if you curse in front. Kel and I have all
I
have long conversations about the power of words being about intent and
sure
context.
sure, but I mean like I try to avoid my usual fuckery around children. Oops, sorry.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, I
You've been
don't think
hanging.
it's the swears that Tell needs to worry about. It's when we start talking about our what we used to get up to that I think they might want to cover
True,
their ears.
true, true, true. Cersei's making those gestures, and Selenai starts to laugh. Ah, fine.
Yeah. And then of course, yeah, Tel's like, Mom, don't tell gross stories again. Okay.
Yeah. New rule, you can't talk about gross stuff.
Oh no.
Yeah. Is
No.
this a kissing story?
Oh yes.
Mhm.
A lot more than
Among
kissing,
other
kid.
things.
Yeah, yeah, right. Well, that's where it starts.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think this is where like maybe we're sprawled on like the cabin couch, or I should say, Selenai is sprawled on the cabin couch and like has maybe their head like against N and but their feet like maybe against Cersei.
Mhm.
Um, you know,
They're in
but
Cersei's lap, and Cersei's giving
yeah,
them a foot rub.
yeah, something. I mean,
Mhm.
like just kind of like falling into like an old comfortable like
Mm.
this is great. I mean, like not just because of the foot rub, but because it's like it's the old comfortable like oh
Hmm.
the gang's almost all here again. You know?
I'd say, yeah, this is like,
Mhm.
were we a polycule? Because that's the vibe. We haven't ever
Yeah.
been, we've never stated it, but we're not
No.
anymore. But we used
Yeah.
to be, and like, there's
Yeah.
sad nostalgia about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were artists. We probably didn't even have that firm a label on it.
No,
Like we
Mm.
just
we
hook
wouldn't.
up sometimes.
Yeah, we wouldn't. We just did what we did, and
Young love, young foolish love.
Tel's sitting across from us like with like a bunch of different looks on their face, like
Hmm.
oh my god, gross, or like
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm. So how about we play Fortune's Fool?
Ooh.
It's been a while. I don't think we've played that since the night before our big art opening, the last one.
Mm.
Not the night
Yeah.
of the party, afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
It's it's been a while and we have a new player, so we'll we'll have to go through the whole ritual of it, won't we?
Mm, I think so.
Okay. And I think this is where Selenai is gonna like look over at Tell and then just kind of like wave a hand and say, "All right, you have to be ready to truth or dare, but play cards like you're doing poker and not show what you really have. Can you do that?"
What?
Yeah, huh? What do you
You,
mean?
you, you'll pick it up. You're a smart kid.
Yeah.
It's like one of our those improv games we sometimes play after dinner. It's kind of like one of those, but you have to tell lies that hide confessions.
It's almost like daring you to tell the truth, but also lie to our face, and we have to see which one is real.
Something like that. We'll
Something.
explain as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we might change the rules as we play. Just deal with it.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint if you it is against the rules to accuse somebody of just making up a rule.
That's right. But new rule, you can accuse somebody of trying to bring back an old rule that we have since agreed we're not enforcing anymore because we used to have the rule uh, no laughing, but we got rid of that rule. Can't bring that rule back.
Because it's
I don't know what
impossible
I'm
not to
saying.
laugh.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I got sick of losing. See?
But this is where Seleneye will stretch and we'll start to say, yeah, when you hold a lot of shit in, then, you know, you're not being honest. And part of the game is being honest, no matter how much we say that we lie and hide things in secrets. And I think by hiding a lot of things, I think that's where I hurt the most. As I describe how I hurt the child I used to be.
Hmm. Yeah, this game has a lot of hiding. I do you remember how I used to cheat? And
Uh, yeah. So, okay, so it was cheating at the time, but as with so many things, if you cheat enough times, it becomes a rule. Now, tell you, your parent discovered, created the loophole that the expression doesn't have to be said. Circe would draw a picture, and we would have to pick out the lie from that, and it was. I mean, it was frustrating, but it was also a lot of fun. And so we all
Wait,
started thinking of new ways to ask questions without
wait,
asking questions.
wait. You all played Pictionary too on top of Truth or Dare? What? What's this?
well, you can express your truth and your lie in whatever way you like. You can sing it, you can say it, you can draw it, you can dance it.
Oh,
Yeah, we're artists. We express truth in different ways.
but you can also lie that way too.
Oh, art always lies, especially when it's telling the truth.
Oh. So if I do it in an accent, it's kind of like lying, but I'm really telling the truth, right?
Perhaps.
Hmm.
I think I'd allow that. Hmm.
Yeah.
And like he had, like they have the look on their face of like discovering like some big treasure, like in the moment. It's like, huh. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Hmm.
who and then Sel and I will like kind of you know, like gather a pack of cards from their jacket pocket and like throw it on the table. All right, who deals?
All right.
And, it-
Scoop.
and
And
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think and we'll split the deck with you, and we'll
Hmm.
like for a couple seconds just sort of like chuck cards back and forth between each other, and then
Mhm.
scoop them all up into a big pile. Shuffled.
Yep. Yep. It's the classic two-person shuffle. That's the thing.
Mm.
I mean, it is now. And yeah, she flips a card. Cersei flips a card, and it's the three of hearts. And she looks around and she says, three hearts on one card. Hmm. I think this card is missing a heart. And
The heart's called the king. Is what you hear from Seleneye, like like burrowed
hmm,
in their wrapped, their folded arms.
yes.
New house rule: no mentioning absentee players. And that's with a hint of sadness in their voice.
And then in a moment of like really childish emotion, Circe just like smacks her drink and spills iced tea all over the ground. And she says, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Can you get me a refill? And hands the cup to Tal,
Okay.
acting up and expecting someone else to take care of me.
Yeah. You gonna be okay, Mom?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry about that, hun. You remember our friend who isn't with us anymore?
Yeah. They were fun. Their
Yeah.
their crown was
Yeah.
pretty pretty spiffy.
Mm.
And they go and grab iced tea in the corner of the cabin with the not the keg. What am I thinking? The cooler. Hello. Yeah.
And then Circe just goes about like cleaning up her spill, right? So she goes up and gets paper towels and is cleaning it. And while she's up, she's like straightening things. She's distracting herself with menial tasks.
Yep.
Going into mom mode instead of dealing with her emotions.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And I think this is where this is where Seleneye will like still on the couch, just kind of like as you're doing that, kind of like reaches out to you and says, "I'm sorry. I didn't I didn't mean to bring us down like that."
No. I and then Circe stops and says, you know, I used to play a lot more games. And I always thought of my art as a kind of creative game. And I don't know. I just have allowed my other obligations, work, because, I have this horrible day job now. And Tal and Ash and Mar Home have just taken up all my time. And I don't know. I feel like there's that part of me inside that has been abandoned a little bit. And I guess that part of me was a little angry. Sorry. And then that's me describing how I've hurt the child I used to be.
Hmm.
Stupid grown up things. Boo.
And
The worst.
Tell will come back and hand you your drink, and
Thank
we'll say,
you.
"Well, real life sucks, Mom."
You can, but look at this. And uh she hmm, she picks up the cards and does a quick shuffle and then does if you know how to do it, you can do a tarot reading with this standard 52 deck, right? So, the, spades are like swords and et cetera, et cetera. The hearts are like cups. And so she does a tarot reading and she's like, for example, and she starts putting cards down and she says, look, this is the four of wands. It represents community coming together. That's us. The four of us are these four wands. And here's the 10 of cups that represents family and a happily ever after. I had to go through bloody pain to bring you into this world, Tel. And we've had losses, but we have new life in our life too. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade any part of my past because it brought me here now with all of you. And so it's worth it, even though, yeah, sometimes it sucks. and I give them a kiss on the forehead and say, "All right, you can keep playing. I I didn't. I just broke one of the rules. I told the truth and I didn't lie. I I'm not sorry."
Well, they encircle you with their arms and kind of like give this like teenager look and say, "Well then, I'm not glad that you did it." There. Wait. I'm not glad that you did it. Wait, does that make it a double negative?
Double.
What?
Yeah, that's a double. That's a double lie there,
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh.
which doesn't make it true necessarily.
Yeah, weirdly,
Oh.
it has to be a
It,
triple lie
Oh.
to be true.
yeah,
It's
Okay.
like three rights make a left.
yeah.
It's like
But
going
we
back into
do
band.
have, yeah, we do have a bona fide single liar among us, though. So, Circe, that means you have to wear the liar's crown.
There's a liar's crown?
Well, apparently there is now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So, she takes the centerpiece, which is a ivy bough, kind of wound, and she puts it on her head, and now she says, "Now I am like Dionysus. I am it is my party, and I'll die if I want to."
And this is where Seleneye will jump up and will take your hand if you let him, and he will create a new dance to mesmerize and impress. Like, drawing you in and being like, well, the new queen of lies must dance with me and impress the audience with her prowess.
Oh, a maenad, perhaps, or
Ooh,
what's the
depends on the
masculine of a
frenzy.
man? I say, or just the masculine of a maenad. I don't even know, or a minad.
I
Anyway, I don't know,
I think there
because
was
those
one.
are normally priestesses, right?
Right.
Anyway, okay, let's dance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And until both start chanting, dance, 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 dance.
Yep. And it's like, we're Seleneye's drawing you in, and then like, it's a lot of the push pull frenzy that you remember from when um uh Seleneye used to do the hold on. Used to do the young and unformed art that they did, right?
Mm, yeah.
It was a lot of the like still trying to get to know the body, but this is with partners. Like, when it's just them and him, he's fine. But then when he starts bringing in partners, then it's getting used to their body, their weight, their balance and counterbalance and back and forth. So it becomes very mesmerizing because then it's kind of like pendulum movement, and then this back and forth, and like kind of like oh god, not ballroom dancing. It's like it's like Latin ballroom. It's like I can't remember exactly the style exactly, but it's a lot of like like feeling the tension and the relaxation of the movement as well as the speed in which it happens. So like the movements themselves are designed to impress and also entice and mesmerize people that watch, for sure.
Love it.
So yeah. And there's a lot of space in this cabin, so
Mhm.
Well, we just decided there was.
yes, for sure.
Bravo, bravo. Terrible dancing.
You would say so. Take you up here and then see how you do.
And then Cersei leans over to Tal. Just remember what I told you. And then Tal says, "I know. Never believe what N says."
And then,
Very good.
yeah, and then
I'm
tell,
just playing the game.
right. But then I think
Maybe.
then Seleneye will ask you directly, and it's like, why won't you dance with me? Like he really wants to know. He's looking at you
Mm.
expectantly.
I, I, who says I won't dance with you? I'll dance with you. Yeah, I'll dance with you right now. And I'm gonna spend 2 tokens for the art move. Describe how your art reveals your most raw self.
Mm.
And uh, Ends dancing is beyond awkward. It is it in opposition to any kind of rhythm or tune that you could conceivably imagine. The flow of it somehow feels both like haphazardly created, but also incredibly rote. The it just feels like somebody kind of going through the motions of a dance.
Does it feel like somebody's
And
pulling the strings?
I was about to say it's
yeah,
like a marionette
uh-huh.
dancing. Yes.
Yeah. Like ultimately the puppet master just when kind of left to their own devices and told to like create and express your deepest feelings through dance is just there's nothing there.
Puppet master, who pulls your string?
I think it's still in not not necessarily enticing, but I think it's still endearing
Hmm.
to Selenai though that you're trying, or is this just mocking him?
It You're not sure at
Mm,
first, but it goes on long enough that it can't possibly be a bit. So you realize this is N's earnest attempt at self-expression.
yeah, and I think he totally appreciates you for it, and I think he just sings the song like to accompany your movement. He sings the song you want to sing.
Mm.
Like he's using your movement as the impetus for creating that that emotion, the expression that you're trying to convey.
Yeah. And then suddenly this rhythmless dance has a rhythm created to it, and it starts to fit. It starts to feel more cohesive and purposeful. Whether that's just finding the right milieu or a combination of the dance and the music coming together. But yeah, at the end of it, um there's a brief pause as N sort of strikes a final pose and going to set aside my truth and reach out to someone, and N will say to Selenide, "You're the only dancer that I've ever watched, so sorry if I stole a couple of your moves in there."
And Selenai will not say anything, but I think you see a secret in their eyes that I don't think you suspected. What's that secret?
Mm. I think that you've maybe seen something in N just now that you had been looking for a long time, or maybe thought that you would never really find. And now, like, seeing it suddenly just remind you of something that you forgot that you had ever wanted.
Yeah, you see that reflected in Selenai's eyes. They're not saying anything, but they're looking right at you, and you see that secret quite naked in their eyes. And I don't know whether Circe or Tell can say it.
I would say Tal has no idea.
Right.
Tal is just like, oh, look, dancing and singing.
Exactly.
Whereas Cersei has seen you dance and heard you sing, and seen and in a variety of expressions. And this strikes Circe. And she glances at Tal and she whispers something to Tal, kind of saying like, don't worry. And then so I will spend 2 tokens to become a being of magic and horror for a moment because that's such a cool move,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
And the wind, we're like, it's the door flies open as if a strong wind blows in autumn leaves and a big, little whirlwind around our little table. The cards go flying up into the air, and Circe's eyes glow, um, and she says, she's going to declare someone's immediate future, and she says, someone, someone will be finding love tonight. And then the wind dies down and her eyes stop glowing. And she adds, and someone else will be sleeping alone.
Maybe there's a particular
Hmm.
spell, but it's hard to say. It's like, I mean, like, like at Cersei's pronouncement, like maybe, like Seleneye kind of like just shakes himself out of what? Wait, what? And but doesn't look at Cersei, but keeps staring at N. It's like, what did you say, Cersei?
Hmm. I don't know. Maybe it was a lie. Are we still playing?
Not sure. Uh, got caught up in the moment. Uh,
Yeah, I did or didn't mean whatever just happened. It I don't know if we're still playing either. I'm sorry.
don't apologize. It was great. I'll help you clean up the cards.
But okay, very well. I suppose I'll allow it. You know me, I like to clean.
Right, but you've been cleaning after us like this whole entire time. I mean, you know, it,
Well, and then she leans in close to you, Sarah, and whispers, "Well, it beats feeling." And she then says, "But allow, yeah, but feel free. Try it sometime."
and he'll help to clean up the cards and such and so forth. And you know, maybe it's
At
late.
the end of the
Maybe
game.
I mean, yeah. Maybe if you want to, unless you have a like a epilogue or something for the night, like maybe like Tell goes to sleep, or do you? Nah, maybe they're too cool to be doing bedtime stories, or maybe they'll tell you a story. I don't know.
They are absolutely think they're too cool. They also think they're too cool to go to bed at a normal time. They're going to stay up with the adults, which means they fall asleep on the sofa,
Yep,
and I have to carry
Hmm.
them into the
yep,
bed
yeah. Sounds
and
cool.
leaving you two alone for a short while. But before I go, I say, I'm holding this child against me, and I turn and I say, I'm glad we did this. I needed this. I bet
We
we all did.
Yeah,
She
we all
goes
did.
off.
I didn't know that I needed this, but it's, it's been fun. It's been nice.
It definitely has been nice. And Just so you know, the game is over. And I mean what I say.
Me too. It, it feels like we've been, forgive me, dancing around each other for a long time.
It's been hard to say.
Never. Yeah. It, we never quite became anything. That, but maybe that's for the best. It made it easier to keep you around.
What?
I have
Just,
a tendency to hurt people.
but sometimes when you hurt people, as you say, maybe you're just saying what they need to hear. Or you're saying the truth that you're not willing to cover up with lies. Like so many people do. Dancing around and being roundabout. Like
Not everybody likes to hear the truth, though.
Maybe sometimes we need to. Maybe sometimes I need to. What?
I sorry. You first.
And they're kind of hesitating, and you know, they will say, I think for us, sometimes it just comes down to our art, because that's the only way we can express ourselves properly. How, and if you don't want to answer this, I understand, but how do your feelings for me become a song?
I think I will ask in turn, how does my truth compromise me?
You think you're so empty, when what that means is, at least to me, is that you would you would need someone to help fill you up. Would you like to stop feeling empty? And
I've been feeling empty for a long time, but I'm willing to see how much of my emptiness you can fill.
I mean, I can't promise to make you full or complete, but I can fill with the ways that I know how.
Then let's see if you can quench the fires of hell, and we'll pull you close, forcefully at first, but then relaxing into a simple 4-step waltz. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And again, it's like with any partner dancing, it's like that whole the widening of the eyes and the slight tension of their body as they try to find their way with the rhythm, with your weight and counterbalancing, and then trying to make sure that they can fit with your rhythm and your body and shaping themselves with you, to you, and then getting into the rhythm, losing themselves into the dance, and getting as close as possible, even for something as structured as the waltz, but making it the most intimate thing that, or one of the most intimate things you've ever experienced, pressed up against them, against him. And they will lean in and whisper against your cheek. You feel the rush of their breath against your ear. Do you hear the song?
And actually stops and listens and does hear a song. It's a a, a song that N is familiar with, a song that they had known in part for as long as they'd been an artist. But now suddenly they are hearing the entire verse. And it's not the song they thought it would be from just a fragment that they knew, but hearing it whole, it it still sounds good. It sounds right.
And they'll draw back slightly, just enough to look into your eyes. And if you allow it, they will lean in for a kiss.
And I will spend 2 tokens to become somebody's angel. And as In leans in for that kiss, there's a flicker of lights in the cabin as the two of them rise up into the air for just a bit. And unseen, but on N's back, those wings, long ago painted in blood and drawn over so many more times in marker, just fades away. And N is finally back on the ground and free from repeating the past, and now looking towards the future.
And we can close out Child's Game there. When the game ends, we each choose one. Add one of the following to your look. Change your gender to one of the following. Choose or describe an art form, or gain the lure. So add the following to your look: a grin I can't hide very well, a song I can't sing by myself, a tattoo of many colors, nostalgia garishly displayed, evidence of how I poorly played the game. Or change your gender to one of the following: laughter I can't hold in, the intertwining of fingers, a sweet lie, many sharp and small teeth, or something sweet. Or choose or describe an art form that you can only create when you don't take yourself too seriously. Or gain the lure: when someone describes the glimpse of the child I once was, fleeting or no, they gain a token. And I think after this, Seleneye adds a grin I can't hide very well.
Okay. I think N is going to swap out their gender of song fragment and replace it with intertwining fingers.
And I think Circe will take that she will choose the art of creating a game as something she can only do when she doesn't take herself too seriously. Mm.
Awesome. I think we can leave it there. It's this way. It's like, we can allow you to get some rest before your big
Thank you.
stuff day tomorrow,
Yeah.
Gwen. And we
Thank
can
you.
end with some stars and wishes. Well, wishes not so much, but definitely stars for sure.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start because my gosh, like this whole session was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Tinged with magic. Like had some mundane in it, but definitely just so beautiful in the imagery of the kisses in the dark, with like sensuality in it, like the
Mm.
slight kink in it, and just like the blood and the ritual. I mean, just coming together as the polycule or what have you. But I mean, also like just something very ceremonial about it, but
Hmm.
very close and intimate as well. So that was just
Mhm.
an incredible picture in that particular moment for sure. So I very much enjoyed the Kisses in the Dark, um, for that reason. And then the play and child's game, and like started off like very like kind of domestic with like the game in the cabin, like just kind of like as you say, like improving, like riffing off of each other, like here's a new house rule, or this is like how we play, or this is how what we're including in it, and it, like truth, lies, confessions, and secrets, just kind of like throwing it in there as one big mishmash of stew, but then like turning into something like very, oh, these were the feelings that we had all the freaking while along. Amazing, God,
Mhm.
didn't even know we
Yeah.
were shipping this kind of thing, but damn, were we? I loved it, absolutely adored it. So, yeah. So for Jelly, like just I loved like all of the. I mean, as Jelly had said, like a little bit of the freak, brought in by Arcturus, like with the gloves and everything. But I mean, also still it fit the situation for Kisses in the Dark, and brought in that ritual portion to the scene. And for Circe, I mean, like being very engaged in your role and archetype, but then yet also like calling to the, hey, I'm gonna be domesticated now, like very soon. It's like, let me get one last hurrah in before that part of me dies. Oh crap, but still, I mean, like you were willing to indulge with your friends, to have
Mm.
that last bit. But then, you know even seeing you in the domesticated bliss, um, it was still great because, we got to see that side of you, and it was still like having you there, but just in a different form, right?
Mhm.
And your kid was there to share it with us, and it wasn't awkward. It was more like, oh, here's a different part of your life that you're able to, or is like, cool enough, you know,
Mhm.
that we were able to share, and yeah, just jumping in and then like creating the kid, um, and then yeah, just, and then of course Danny with N. I mean, you played them as very like bitter and like kind of like standoffish, like in the first part, but then like I think we got to see like all different sides of N in this one, and I really enjoyed seeing that a lot. Like playing off of each one of us, but also showing us their, like, the different vulnerable side, I think, too, as well. So I, again, really enjoyed like peeling apart the layers for each of the characters, and like seeing more of them, especially N. So that was great,
Mhm.
and like like yes anding the whole,
Mhm.
like possibilities with Seleneye was really awesome, and thank you for that for sure. So those are my
Danny, you want
stars.
to go next, or shall I?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'll echo all of the praise that has been offered, but especially for Circe. The level of thought that you put into that character of like, well, if this is a flashback, then it's going to be before she kind of like had sort of lost that glory, but like you were always thinking of ways of like how to like justify that character and the choices and the moves available to you. And
Mm,
like we saw her at different stages, but she always felt like a very like complete person, like probably ahead of most of the other group in sort of realizing what she wants and going for it.
mm,
And then like living, like knowing her truth and living in it. And
yeah.
for Seleneye, also kudos to you, Mads, for like kind of always like Seleneye's a dancer, and you did very well at like bringing focus to what he's doing with his body, whether that's like like going off and occupying a particular space, or like kind of in the moment, sort of like capturing this rhythm or creating it in response to something. Like it felt very sort of like I like verbally dancing almost in the constant sort of mindfulness of the body that Selenai is doing.
Hmm.
And yeah, just
Yeah.
all around creating the weird blood orgy, and then making up a game with a child, and like just sort of like it kind of had that sort of improv spirit of like is this game even real, or is it something we're just making up to do something with this kid when we're stuck in a cabin? I don't know, and it doesn't matter because all the characters kind of made it matter.
Hmm. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I have
Love it.
to second, third, what everyone said, because this I had played Wander Home before, but and that was the only belonging outside belonging style game I played. But this is so much. This is intense, not just because of I mean, of course, the excellent fellow players, but the questions, the scenes. Like I said, I read it and was like, oh my goodness, it's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna cry. But I didn't, weirdly, because I was dealing with like some of the hardest things I have to deal with, like emotionally in my own personal life, about like motherhood and gender transition and leaving behind a part of your life. And this stuff is real and hard. And I thought the way that we explored it was beautiful and skilled. And everyone did. I mean, for example, I think this was mentioned, and Danny mentioned this. Selenai, Mads, the way that you had Selenai occupy space and use it was really cool, and the way that he embodied, dance was his art and his soul, and that was really neat to see you do that. And how you described the push pull dance, right? That just perfect. That so captured the emotional note that was being expressed there, and that was really great. And Danny N, it was, I mean, I just kept wanting to engage with N. I was like, this is so much fun, and what's gonna happen next, right? Like, let's see what Danny does with this,
Mhm.
and it was always unexpected and better than what I was thinking might happen. It was great. So I really, really appreciated the unpredictability, but absolute in character every time, right? It was like, that was really cool. It felt like each of the artists were a particular color, but you were like a harlequin or something. There was a like valent feel to N that was which kind of perfectly matched N's gender pronoun choices and stuff. It was just like,
Hmm.
this was beautiful. It was like gender fluidity as art form or something, it was really great. So, and I really, Jelly left, I know, but I actually was really, at first, I was like, about like, let's make this next scene in the past. Because I was
Mm.
thinking, like, well, how is a character that I'm viewing through the lens of like grief and reflecting on lost things in the past going to be play out when we haven't lost those things yet, right? But it ended up being a really neat triptych, the three scenes, where it's like this reunion where there's this bittersweet feelings. Then there's the back in the beginning where there's passion, raw, bloody passion, but also an ending, or the beginning of an ending. And then we go to the actual ending, which is this, in a way, domestic, but also it had a feeling of wholeness and completion to it. And
Hmm.
thank you both as well for indulging the. I wasn't sure when I was like, Cersei's going to make a prophecy about love here. Let's see if it's true or false. I didn't
Eh,
know, and I
yeah,
was like,
Hmm.
oh, let's see if they go with that. And it was nice to see that. That was fun. God, it was really great. It's funny if you'll indulge me. Do you mind me doing something self-indulgent?
okay.
I want to read a
Please.
poem.
Oh, okay.
So this kept coming up in my mind when I was playing tonight. And it's a poem that I love dearly. It's one of my all-time favorite. It's by Mary Oliver, if you know Mary Oliver's poems. And it's called The Journey. And this poem is one that I thought of a lot about with this character. It's also one that, for me, is captures something very important about my own transition and the things, leaving things behind and going forward. Okay, it's called The Journey. One day, you finally knew what you had to do and began. Though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice, though the whole house began to tremble and you felt the old tug at your ankles. Mend my life, each voice cried, but you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do. Though the wind pried with its stiff fingers at the very foundations, though their melancholy was terrible, it was already late enough and a wild night, and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice, which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. So thank you, both of you.
Thank you very much. I mean, like the whole session was gorgeous and beautiful, and thank you very much for reading off that poem. Um, could you send or post the title and
Yeah, I'll post a link to it.
okay, great, thank you. In a Discord, that would be wonderful.
There's a great video of her reading it too. I'll
Oh,
post a YouTube of it. She's really, I love her so much.
okay, awesome. No, I'm always interested now, especially because I also joined Jelly's poetry inspired TTRPG jam. So I gotta get working on my game. Eh,
Hmm.
so, but
I gotta look that up.
yeah, no, it's really it's I think it ends mid-month this month
Okay.
or next like in July. So whoops, better get working. But yeah, always inspired by poetry for sure. But thank you all. I mean, like, this was very inspiring period, and I'm very glad to try to get back into the swing of things with some belonging outside belonging. I mean, I can also recommend if you haven't already tried Firebrands. Thank you very much for introducing Firebrands to me at
Oh,
PAX
Firebrands
Unplugged,
is so
Danny.
good.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Ooh,
so
God,
good.
I've
I don't
I've
know it.
I've played once more Into the Void, like at least twice twice now, and both times broken my frickin' heart. You can see it on
Yeah.
my YouTube channel. Holy shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reina Dottie has a Firebrands game that I think is like in perpetual beta called Take My Revolution. It's based off of Revolutionary Glutena, if anyone knows
Mm.
that. It's also
Mm,
very good.
Okay.
hmm.
Uh,
Interesting. I'll have to check it out.
yeah.
Firebrands, huh? Okay.
Well, yeah, Firebrands is the style system, whatever you want to call it, based off of was it Mobile Zero, Mobile Brand
Well,
Zero?
is it a what is it?
Well, the bakers had created the original um, game that it's based on, that the Firebrand
Okay.
style is based on. Um,
Gotcha.
yeah,
They have a lot of good games.
yeah, they have a ton of good
They
games,
do.
but yeah, but like the style, the system is
Mm,
what people have built off of, and like
okay.
a
I'll
lot of
check it
great
out.
games
That
have
one I
been
know.
built off of it. So like Once More Into the Void, Hearts of Magic, those are the two that I'm very familiar with that I've played, and I'm gonna try to check out some other ones that I actually have in my collection now. Like you can check out, but you can
Hmm.
never leave, like a Hotel California type of bit. So I'm gonna probably hopefully run that
Okay.
soon. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But
Mm,
yeah, oh my gosh. So again, thank you so much. I mean, we're just
mhm.
gonna end early so this way, you know, Gwen can get some rest for interview
Thanks,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
gang.
Moving's
I
just so
appreciate
exhausting.
it.
Good luck.
Yeah, moving is very exhausting. So good luck, get some rest, and recover well afterwards. God,
Thank you so much, gang.
and congratulations for sure.
Woo.
All
Well,
right,
I'm sure I'll see you both. I hope to see you both again in many games to come. So I'll be
absolutely.
around.
Okay,
Hmm.
absolutely. Thank you so much. Oh, and okay to post like the
Oh yeah.
parts.
The video. Yeah, I'm
Perfect,
okay.
Go
perfect.
right ahead.
Okay, awesome. All right. So you'll see part one tomorrow because I had gone ahead and at least edited part one, and then like part two will be sometime next week. So, all right,
Cool.
fabulous. Thank you
So
guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of the evening and happy gaming.
Thanks, you too.
Thank
Yep.
happy
you.
gaming.
Bye.